readiness for judicial aspirants. It's a perfect example of her collaboration, her community-first approach to leadership. Outside of MBLA, her service extends even further. Ivana serves on the boards of the Pine Street Inn, the Anti-Defamation League, where she helps elevate the voices of Jews of color, and she led efforts to deepen DEI impact. She's a dedicated mentor, a champion for domestic violence survivors, and someone who shows up both with heart and hustle. She is what real leadership looks like. Not just titles and accomplishments, but consistent investment in people, systems, and the future. But if you really want to know who Ivana is, you have to go back to her roots, to the little girl who loved to dance, tap, modern, Afro-Cuban, jazz, West African, you name it. The one who found rhythm in challenge and grace in discipline. She carried that spirit with her through law school, through career pivots, through long nights and hard decisions, and she's done it all while nurturing a beautiful partnership. Ivana met Ian, her husband of 7 years, back in college. Two brilliant minds and big hearts who grew into lawyers and into partners, not just in love, but in life. Together, they paid off their student loans. And supported each other every next step. In a world that often demands we choose between personal joy and professional success, Ivana has built a life that honors both. Her father describes her as strategic, compassionate, and devoted. And that devotion to people, to justice, to making things better is what makes her the leader she is today. So it is one of the greatest honors of my career, not just in Boston, not just in MBLA, but period, to introduce this woman. She's brilliant, diligent, assertive, principled, kind, and fierce in her pursuit of what's right. She celebrates other women without fear. She's inspired by excellence, not threatened by it. And she knows how to lead with both humility and power. If you're looking for someone to bet on, for your board, your cause, or your institution, Ivana is it. She is the kind of leader who doesn't just rise, she lives. Please join me in welcoming the incomparable president of the Massachusetts Black Lawyers Association, my mentee, my sister, my pride, Ivana Anderson.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It is such a beautiful sight to look into the audience and see so many wonderful people. My name is Ivana Anderson Temple, and I have the sincere privilege of serving as the president of the Massachusetts Black Lawyers Association. Before I begin my remarks, I kindly ask that every past president of the MBLA please stand up. Thank you for what you poured and invested into this organization, balancing all of the moving parts of the statewide operation, keeping all of the balls in the air with no staff, and you did it with such grace and excellence. Thank you. During this past programming year, the MBLA operated under the central theme, supporting the overall well-being of our members and strengthening the organizational infrastructure of the MBLA. That included our members' financial, physical, and emotional well-being, and making strategic investments to ensure the MBLA's long-term unprecedented rise in hate. And how can anyone be expected to carry on with life as normal when their existence and their humanity is apparently up for debate? People are literally being disappeared, and it is exhausting to simply be, and it is even harder at the intersection of multiple identities. And as a Black woman, I've been on the receiving end of racism and sexism and misogyny. I've been yelled at while walking to work, I hate Black women, with a drink can thrown in my direction ruffling the furs of my winter coat as I'm simply trying to get to work. The nuanced intersection of racism and sexism, and I'm deeply grateful for our friends at the Massachusetts Black Women Attorneys, led by President Sheridan Jackson, for their tireless efforts in addressing these issues and for continuing to stand in solidarity with us. The MBLA stands for promoting DEI in the legal profession. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. The fight for DEI in the legal profession is long-standing. The erasure of Black people, of our humanity, of us, is not new, nor is the concerted effort to keep Black people out, away from liberty, education, and economic prosperity. I think about the history of the American Bar Association, and I'm a fan of the ABA. But back in 1912, they accidentally admitted a Black man into bar membership, William H. Lewis. And when the ABA realized he was Black, they revoked that membership and made the systemic operational change to include demographic information in their application materials, so it would not happen again. We see the aftermath of requiring demographic information on application materials. Somehow, it tends to result in less diversity overall, as the ABA previously intended. Studies show that when people write in their resume, they get more callbacks. Harvard did the research, NPR reported on it, and now we are watching intentional efforts to increase diversity in many spaces get demonized, criminalized, and dismantled. Intentionality built this system where people of color were left out, treated unfairly, and had to be twice as good in order to get half as much. And only intentionality will tear down that system. Now, despite where we are as a nation, the MBLA has remained steadfast in doing the work. Earlier this programming year, in collaboration with the National Bar Association, we held a Lawyers for Democracy event, committing ourselves to the principles of civil rights, voting rights, and equal protection under the law. What was supposed to be foundational to our nation, we are now realizing is not guaranteed. We also launched one of our biggest initiatives, almost ever, thanks to the incredible efforts of MBLA Director Teresa Coney and MBLA past President Jermaine Kidd. He served as president and came back to serve again. Reflecting the organization's deep commitment to fostering a more inclusive and diverse judiciary, we launched our Judicial Academy program. And through this program, we were able to provide aspiring judges and clerks with the information and tools necessary to navigate the nomination and application processes successfully. And there's information about this groundbreaking program in your program booklet. We also launched our first ever law school tabling tour initiative, spearheaded by our student affairs liaison, Madison Long, where we want to be, and I appreciate it. To my friends, especially those who have seen this year up close, thank you for your encouragement and willingness to step in and assist. I appreciate it. And to my parents, I've never had the chance to publicly thank them within the room, so I'd like to take the time to do so now. To my mom, thank you for showing me that I can be both. There is no need to lose myself, my interests, my hobbies, and what makes me special just for a career. To my dad, thank you for always showing up even when it was not convenient or easy, and showing me how to push past my limiting beliefs. He even drove from New York to Massachusetts just to support the MBLA's 90-minute fitness fundraiser back in June. Thank you. And to my sister, who was not able to make it this evening, thank you for showing me what it means to live in the moment and to live authentically. And to my dear husband, thank you for standing beside me in this work. I think we're done billing to the extent we're ever going to go. You chose to stay with me just so I wouldn't have to work alone. For every text message reminding me to eat, for every time you rearranged your schedule to accommodate me and the MBLA over the past 8 years, for every time you cheered for me. Thank you. And to everyone here tonight, thank you for standing firm and supportive MBLA's mission. Together, we will continue to carry the legacy of the MBLA with every bold step, every brave voice, and every act of justice. Thank you. Now, I would like to thank my incredible leadership team for their hard work in making this past programming year a success. I will call them up to the stage, but please hold your applause until everyone has made it up to the stage.